HOA officer broke into my house to evict me. Too bad I was live streaming the break-in. The air in my living room was thick with tension, the kind that makes your skin prickle and your heart thud against your ribs. I stood by the window, phone in hand, the live stream ticker climbing past 2,000 viewers. My name's Lena Carter, and this was my HOA sanctuary until Officer Daniel Hargrove decided it wasn't. He loomed in my doorway, his HOA badge glinting like a weapon under the fading sunlight. His face was a storm of entitlement, his voice sharp as he barked, "You're in violation, Carter. Vacate now, or I'll drag you out myself." This wasn't just about my garden. Sure, the HOA had rules. No wildflowers, no unkempt lawns. But my patch of Karen flowers vibrant, rebellious bursts of purple and gold wasn't just a garden. It was a memorial to my late sister, who'd loved their untamed beauty. Hargrove didn't care. To him, my flowers were a middle finger to his pristine neighborhood order. For weeks, he'd sent letters, fines, threats. Today, he'd crossed the line, breaking into my home with a crowbar, claiming emergency eviction powers. Too bad for him, my phone was rolling, broadcasting his every move to the world. The room felt like a battlefield. Hargrove's partner, a wiry man named Tim, hovered behind him, clutching a clipboard like a shield. Tim was new, barely out of his probation period, and his wide eyes betrayed his unease. "Dan, maybe we should wait for the sheriff," he stammered. But Hargrove shot him a look that could have shattered glass. "Shut it, Tim. She's had her chance." I held my ground, phone steady, my voice shaking but clear. "You're breaking into my home, Hargrove. You think you're above the law." The livestream comments exploded. "Justice for Lena." HOA Tirnich ping fueling my courage. But inside, I was unraveling. This house was all I had left of my sister, our childhood laughter echoing in its walls. Losing it would be like losing her all again. Then came the twist. The front door creaked open, and in walked Mrs. Ellison, the neighborhood's quiet, gray-haired librarian. Nobody expected her. She'd always kept to herself, tending her roses, avoiding HOA drama. But now, she stood tall, her voice cutting through the chaos like a blade. "Daniel Hargrove, you're a disgrace." She held up a folder, her hands trembling but resolute. "I've got records. You've been skimming HOA funds for years, using fines to line your pockets. I've already sent copies to the board and the police." The room froze, Hargrove's face drained of color, his authority crumbling like dry clay. Tim's jaw dropped, his clipboard slipping to the floor. My phone caught it all, the ticker now at 10,000 viewers. Mrs. Ellison's bombshell wasn't just a lifeline, it was a grenade, exposing Hargrove's corruption to the world. Comments flooded in. "Get him, Lena. Mrs. E is a hero." But Hargrove wasn't done. He lunged toward me, snarling, "You're ruining everything." I stumbled back, my phone nearly slipping. Tim, finally finding his spine, grabbed Hargrove's arm. "Enough, Dan." The struggle was brief but ugly, furniture toppling, a vase shattering. My heart pounded as I kept streaming, capturing Hargrove's unraveling. Sirens wailed in the distance. Mrs. Ellison's call to the police had worked. The cops arrived, cuffing Hargrove as he spat curses. Tim, pale and shaken, muttered apologies, promising to testify against his boss. Mrs. Ellison gave me a nod, her quiet strength anchoring me. The live stream ended with 20,000 viewers, my story spreading like wildfire. I'd won, hadn't I? My home was safe, Hargrove exposed, justice served. But the victory tasted bitter. That night, alone in my house, I sat among the Karen flowers, their petals glowing under the moonlight. The HOA board promised reforms, but the neighborhood was fractured. Neighbors who'd cheered me online now whispered about troublemakers. Tim quit the HOA guilt-ridden, while Mrs. Ellison faced harassment for her whistleblowing. And me? I couldn't shake the image of Hargrove's rage, the violation of my home, the fragility of justice. My sister's flowers stood tall, but they couldn't erase the cost of this fight. I'd exposed a bully, but at what price? My sanctuary felt tainted, my trust in community shattered. The live stream had saved me, but it couldn't mend the deeper wound-soft division, betrayal, and loss. I wondered if my sister would have been proud or heartbroken to see how far I'd gone to protect her memory. What do you think? When does fighting for what's right cross into breaking a community apart?